Welcome back to the Best Ball Happy Hour here at 4 for 4 Football. As always, I'm your host, John Daigle, joined today by a very special group of friends in life. First up, you know him. He's always here. It's Pro Football Focus Zone, Ian Hartitz. Ian, back from Long Island, I'm assuming.
Great day to be great. Back in the mom's basement in Columbus, and I'll be back in Cincinnati starting next week. Good to see you guys.
Good to see everyone. That includes you, Hayden Winks of Underdog. How is everything going on your end post-mustache life?
Yeah, I swapped out my mustache for a huge zit on my lip. Things are going great.
And then the guest of honor this week, none other than someone who's getting married in 6 weeks' time. It is Davis Maddock. Davis, are you ready for marriage? Are you ready for your wedding? Hayden can attest that a lot of decisions have to be made before then.
Yeah, the wedding, I'm not going to lie, it's pretty stressful now that it's getting pretty close. Like for the first 6 months or whatever, I'm like, great, we got all this stuff knocked off. But now it's getting to well, people are not RSVPing. Some people, it's
RSVP
like,
hell is the peak hell is RSVP seating chart hell. That's
like
nothing will get worse.
I got a message from Drew B this morning, and he was like, I lost my thing, but I can't make it, and I'm like, fuck, then I got to go in and do it myself. It's like, dude, come on, man. If you're listening to this and you've been invited to my wedding, you've not RSVP'd, do it right now.
I always just assumed that. Well, I guess the RSVP is important because you need to know what to make, right? The meal.
You gotta know. So even if you're not having people reply like you want the chicken or the fish or whatever, you got to tell the caterer an exact number of it because you got to pay them.
Because I always just assumed it was to let people know you're going to be there, but of course I'm going to be there. That's why the hang up has been. I've received many texts from wives. This summer because
you don't want to be burning the cash.
Man. I don't want to. If Bankmeyer's fiance or Bankmeyer's girlfriend's not coming, I don't want to pay for her plate.
That's like $150 right down the drain. You can't be doing that. Not in this economy, at least.
Not in this economy, bro. Have you checked the price of Bitcoin, bro? Like we're down bad.
At the wrong time of your life, too.
You have no idea how real that is. Like I was like, dude, we can have the biggest, dopest wedding. We can do whatever. Yeah. And now I'm like, dude, I really hope we don't go over budget. That's going to get tight.
And at least you got the house while it was up. While it was $50K plus, at least you got the house still.
You goddamn right. I don't think I've done a show with Ian. I'm hyped. I'm hyped to do a show with Ian.
It's also going to be
man.
It's also going to be fun because now we get to see where your head's at. Because I know you've been playing best ball around getting ready for your wedding. And I haven't heard many of your takes this offseason just yet. So really excited to do this.
Let's do it, man.
As always, 30-second pick, Best Ball Mania 3. We're going to do it together. In 3, 2, 1. First come, first serve.
Yeah, I kind of jumped the gun on that one. So
this is probably you.
Double up, Ian. Ian, double up. Don't be scared.
Yeah.
Wait, am I supposed to get in this?
You and I will draft together. I'll basically allow you to steer.
Okay. Do I got a Venmo? Do I got to Venmo you $12.50 so we're all good when we win 2 million?
Yeah, or are you doing the Herzig route and you're gonna have a teacup party as he walks away with a fine milli? So Liam last year did these streams and he in the group DM that he sent all of us, he's like, yeah, Venmo me $12.50 if you want, and everyone's been making fun of him since then. So funny.
Of course, the guy who won $1 million wants the $12.50. Also, I believe, isn't he down to the top 10 in a poker tournament in Vegas right now?
I have not. I've not checked his timeline today, but we were supposed to be doing these shows together, and he's bailed on me the last 2 weeks because he's like, dude, I'm playing cards. And I'm like,
yeah,
do it. I don't want to stream with you from your hotel room, bro.
That is my life. That is my life main event week, which is coming up here in a couple months. It's basically all shows from a Planet Hollywood hotel room all week long.
What's that? 3K entry?
The main event is 2, yeah, and then Bare Knuckles is 5K NFFC. I'll definitely be playing the prime NFFC, which is $12.50. Still thinking about Bare Knuckles. We'll get there eventually.
You got to do. I would tell you to do the Silver Bullet, which is single entry. I do that every year with Leone. That's the NFC site is not optimal for doing waivers and stuff, but that is one of my favorite contests.
We got to get high stakes on Underdog, like super high stakes.
I mean, if only we had someone who worked for Underdog on this show every week to push it.
I'll start coding tonight.
The Bulldog was sharp because like the fill problem before was that people didn't want to reg and then like go to sleep or go to dinner or whatever. So having it slow only, I think like you could like they could do like $1,000, $2,000 entry as long as it was all slows.
Yeah, and I think eventually we gotta just build scheduled drafts and we'll be set.
Ooh.
Underdogs help me like not talk to people even less, like at bars and stuff. Now it's like, go have an uncomfortable social encounter, enter another Best Ball Mania draft. Like, I don't know, guys.
Do you still do fast drafts out when you're out, or do you do slow drafts?
Yeah, no, I do fast. I've had a couple, missing 2 picks get autoed. It's always a humbling experience. Hate looking at myself in the mirror after that. But for the most part, I've been going all fast. Actually, I might start sprinkling because Daigle, you only play what 3 and 6 teams?
I play best ball. I saved my Best Ball Manias for this show, knowing we're gonna get X amount in for the next 4 months. But yeah, I play 6-team leagues is what I play.
That's right. 6 team? No, 6.
Yeah. So yeah, 6-team leagues. My ROI on Underdog was 71% last year in 16 leagues.
Damn, so real grinder hours, bro. Yeah, that is real, like
you got to turn that $100 to $200. So
I could not punch my dick into the sand for an entire summer doing that.
How much of that was just been absolutely spoiled in ETH since that 71%?
It's true. It's true. Honestly, any money I could have spent on fantasy football entries in any time over the last 18 months would have been better money spent. So I should have just went all in.
I probably lost it on an alien somewhere along the way. It's something happened to it. Either way, though, we do, and we're holding tight on the Callaway 20% off discount NFTs that they released. We're gonna keep the golf NFTs forever.
I didn't know Callaway did NFTs.
Yeah, well, if they have a lifetime membership if you buy one, and no matter how much it sinks, you do get like 10 to 20% off of their products.
That is totally a use case that like I would buy. Like I would
Absolutely.
do that. Yeah,
that's why I'm never selling it.
But you gotta play Titleist balls, bro.
Oh, I don't really believe in the playing the certain balls.
I mean, I'm not any good. I was talking about this on Twitter yesterday. Like, I'm taking lessons, and I got so mad at the range yesterday. I left. I was like, I can't actually do this to myself. Like, I'm in a bad mental space trying to do this right now.
I broke 100 at Pinehurst a couple months ago before the draft, and
amazing.
That was the highlight of my time. I shot 99, and that's the highlight of my fucking career since it's like top 5 toughest greens in the entire country.
Dude, I never thought I'd be like sick of golf, but like I would say I gave it a try. 10 hours, I'd say, at the driving range. Mm-hmm. I could not hit one of those balls.
Dude,
straight.
It's the toughest thing you'll ever do.
Couldn't even hit it straight. Again, I wasn't expecting to be piping it, 300 down the middle, no questions asked. But I don't know. I thought I broke clocks like twice a day. Apparently, I'm not ever right at the driving range.
When you don't know what you're doing, it's more fun to actually go hack around and kind of learn. Like I had more fun when I was really bad. Just like going to go play par 3s with my butt. Now that I'm like trying to improve my scores, yeah.
I think for me, it's almost like meditation. It's like mental. It strengthens me mentally because I have to teach myself to not get upset at every worst fucking shot I take. It's like, okay, it's okay. Take another step. Just progressing in life is all we're doing. So.
Yeah, I was just out putting before this, which was like obviously like is just like the most frustrating thing. But it is because. At a certain, you just have to accept failure at like when you're doing that. So it is more meditative. We're taking cup here.
Yeah. Okay. I have also post Baker Mayfield trade readjusted the Underdog top 250 that I have the CSV uploaded. So we will tinker with it and see along the way if it's correct.
Wait, these are so we're drafting off your rankings are in here, not the ADP.
Nope. These are 4-for-4 Underdog top 250 that I personally manually curate based on ADP and Paulson's projections.
Got Henry like 2 spots too high here. 10 spots too high.
He's got a couple. There's a couple glitches we'll see here and there, but there's some good rankings overall. Daigle, what was your adjustment to DJ Moore?
Wide receiver 13 or 14 in there with Allen Robinson.
What was he before?
17 or 18 around Terry McLaurin. Just the same old guy who doesn't score touchdowns. The thing happened, though, that I knew was going to happen the moment the trade happened is that everyone then overrated Baker Mayfield immediately. It's like, let's all calm down. Like, it's okay. Let's assess this in the right way because he's still Baker Mayfield. Like even last year in those first 6 games when he was healthy, before he separated his shoulder, it was still 15 and a half fantasy points per game. Like it was still a low-end QB2. So let's just all calm down. It's okay.
I think he messed it up against the Texans, bro. He tried to make that tackle on that interception.
Weren't the Browns scoring like 29 and a half points per game?
It was like 28. Yeah, it was 4 touchdowns per game.
Yeah.
And then they did like 17.
I tossed this out on the Swolecast earlier. How much of the so I think there are 2 things why football Twitter is like Baker Mayfield is the worst quarterback ever. Mm-hmm. The first is that when he was actively sucking it up, you had to see him in commercials. You had to see the progressive commercials. I think that's a big part of it. And then the second is like the meme culture of the Odell dad YouTube cut up video and then how good Odell looked with the Rams.
He also just sucked for a good 3 months.
He's not that bad, dude.
He was just playing. He was playing injured. If he would have just sat on the sideline, we would be thinking like he's a totally fine quarterback.
Even like Kirk Cousins and Carson Wentz, and Cousins is better than all these guys, but like people have a really hard time at quarterbacks that like aren't top 10. But also aren't like outside the top 30. Like it's okay. I don't think anyone here is standing for Baker these days, but spare me the idea that Jacoby freaking Brissett can be an upgrade. Like we just go too far sometimes.
Oh, he's so bad.
Yeah.
I was just watching him with freaking Devontae Parker, like for a prep on this podcast. It was the Jacoby stuff it was not good.
He holds the ball so damn long and it'll make like one fun play every 2 weeks or something. But
it's
like
tough.
The pressure, because he's always coming in for someone. So you see like Andrew Luck and Tua like not even get pressured like at half the rate basically that he does when he's out there. He's gonna make the offensive line look worse. Amari Cooper couldn't pay me to draft him where he's going right now. And even David Njoku, man, like I know the money's there, but I also don't think Harrison Bryant's gone. And it's Jacoby Brissett's tight end 1. So
yeah, Harrison Brown was better than David Njoku last year. He was the 3rd tight end on the depth chart.
That's the interesting thing because we had the one game last year when Njoku played 100% snaps with no Hooper, but we actually got 3 of them the year before, same coaching staff. And like the 4-game sample, Harrison Bryant out-targeted Njoku. Now you pay him all that money. I don't think that's going to persist, but like, man, at tight end, we usually never want 2 guys out there. And I think it's going to consistently be 2 guys.
Oh yeah. That's why he's like a late round option. But yeah, we did the AFC North preview on Move the Line last night. And like when we got to the Browns, it was just like, literally, how can you take them seriously? They have Jacoby Brissett. Like these teams don't matter in 2022. Like spare me. I know Browns fans think they matter. They don't matter
until Jimmy G gets traded there.
We were doing the Jimmy G fan fiction on Ship Chasing last night because they're screwed if he only gets 10 games salary wise, but if it's indefinitely suspended, he doesn't count against their cap this year.
Yeah. The speculation from like the big NFL media people they're like bracing that like the Deshaun suspension is going to be minimal. Like we had none of that forever. And like this last week, it's been like, just in case, just throwing this out there. So I don't know.
I think people got carried away with the indefinite suspension. It seems like the 8 games that everyone's kind of assumed the whole time this is what's going to happen.
I'm going to take. I'm sorry. You guys on the clock? No, you aren't. I'm on the clock. So I'll talk. Call me a bad person. I'm going to take the Deshaun Watson bad person discount if he does end up playing because he's going to be going way too cheap because no one likes him.
Oh no! If he plays, everyone's going to take him. That's not true. Yeah, he's.
Well, we know he's still
good at football. Yeah, you have to draft him right now. That's
right now. You have 2 weeks to if you want to make that bet to do it right now. And all of them dropped.
Where do you think he's? I think he goes probably around. Wait, like all right. Let's say he gets like 6.
Aaron Jones.
Yeah, that's good for me. Mark Andrews doesn't usually drop here.
I think he's getting cheaper. I think I've been noticing this in doing drafts is he actually is available here more frequently as Pitts is rising a little bit and Andrews is falling a little bit.
All right. Works for me. Go ahead, Ian.
I lost my train of thought. I'm trying to draft 2 teams.
I got one for you guys. What are we doing with Christian McCaffrey now? Like I moved him up to 1st overall in my rankings. I don't know.
He was 1st overall before. If you're trying to win $2 million.
Yeah, but so what percent? Like right now, what percent ownership do you want for like the top 3-4 players? Like, do you want how much JT do you want versus?
I might stop taking JT when I get one.
Let's go. That's honestly. I moved him to 3. I want Cooper Kupp and Christian McCaffrey.
I still want JT over Cooper Kupp.
if you're in one home league, I'm still taking Jonathan Taylor. I think
I'm still taking Jonathan Taylor.
I think that logic. I actually think that logic is fine. But if you're trying to win $2 million, I asked Overzet this earlier. If you knew Christian McCaffrey and Jonathan Taylor were both playing 17 games, CMC is like a minus 200 to score more points.
You average like 3-4 more points per game.
Yeah.
All right, so these are receivers plus Mike Williams as well.
I mean Keenan and Mike Williams does our stack. I don't know how much you're super into that.
I'm down for Big Mike. Big Mike or one of the running backs would be.
I'm good with Mike.
Y'all want Mike over Keenan?
Yes.
Touchdowns, baby.
2022, baby.
Gen Z, man.
I want Keenan, but it's okay.
You can't take these Zoomers anywhere.
They're they're right next to each other. They're priced that way. I mean, I'm happy people are around Mike Williams now. I thought it was gonna be another offseason of oh my god, take away his good games and look how mid he is. So
that's actually my favorite fantasy football analysis because if you take away Gabe Davis's 4-touchdown 200-yard game in the playoffs, he's actually not that impressive.
If you take away the only reason why we play fantasy sports, then he's actually not good. It's the only thing we care about is the good game, and we're removing those. I love it.
Well, it wasn't a long graded stretch. I think it was from week 6 on. That's when his target share, Mike Williams, dipped like a full 8%. When he suffered that knee injury in week 5, he had a 25% target share until then.
And Herbert third stretch where Herbert wasn't throwing deep for a while as well. And that was the whole season. Like you see his he had PFFs I think maybe Brady had the lowest turnover worthy play rate, but like Herbert's there and it's like you don't need to be there, man. Like you have that freaking cannon. Throw that shit downfield more often when you got Big Mike or even Guyton and Palmer, I think, can do things.
They definitely turned him into a conservative player for some reason. It takes a little bit of faith to believe in them, but I want to believe in them, especially with continuity and a coaching staff.
I definitely see a path to Mike Williams being like one of the biggest busts in fantasy, but I still want him at cost because of his range. It's like the same thing as Gabe Davis. It's like, yeah, I mean, they might just decide to run the ball and throw the ball to Jamison Crowder or whatever, but
his range of outcomes is also obviously outscoring Keenan Allen as like a top 10 receiver. So
yeah, I mean, Keenan might just become the complementary player that he should have been his whole career.
Shut your mouth.
No
slander.
No disrespect intended.
God. You can't say no with all due respect. You can't just say whatever you want after that. I don't know, man.
I can and will.
Dang, so DJ Moore's ADP now has moved up pretty much right here.
Yeah.
Let me see where I had that.
I have him as a wide receiver 15. I think he should go at the 3-4 turn. I like him more than Marquise Brown and Cortland Sutton and those guys for sure.
Yes. Where did you move him up? Robbie Anderson, Hayden.
I was high on him before. I moved him up a little bit more.
Okay.
He's one of my highest owned guys.
I have DJ 16. I'll consider him versus McLaurin and Pittman. I'm probably not going to put him ahead of AJB. So at the highest, he'll be 14 for me. I was still kind of prioritizing him ahead of some of those other guys. Like I already had him ahead of Sutton. I think Hollywood's being priced way too high right now. Yeah. Deontay Johnson's finally fine. How about that? Only took 3 months.
I still have Allen Robinson well ahead of everyone else too. I'm going to stay there as well.
We can take Allen Robinson on this team.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Davis, what is your theory on, I was kind of thinking through, a lot of teams are going to have this Cooper Kupp, Mike Williams pairing or throw in Keenan, whoever.
Sure.
What if you made this the small stack and you didn't draft another one of these Chargers Rams? Hope that game is like 24-21. And now you go pivot to like the Ravens or Cardinals. And that's the game you actually need. But like you're going to get some touchdowns from that other game. You go the skinny stacks. I think most people are going to just go full blown game stack. And you're never going to get the Kyler teams, the Lamar teams with this start.
So it's interesting. I guess I hadn't processed it that way, but that's actually how a lot of my Keenan, Williams teams end up happening because I can't draft Justin Herbert over Patrick Mahomes. So a lot of the times, and then you're sitting there on the clock and they're both there. And then I just end up taking someone else because I don't want to do that. So, and my picks are so highly week 17 correlated that like that just kind of happens naturally. Like I end up getting like 4 Titans Cowboys or 5 Dolphins Patriots or whatever anyway.
Yeah, like I would love to go like Rashad Bateman, Lamar Jackson at the turn right here, and don't draft another Chargers, Rams.
What about
now? You're playing for, was it the Steelers?
Yeah, Josh Palmer though.
You can go Josh Palmer and bet against
he's
Keenan Allen.
He's getting kind of pricey. Palmer is.
Yeah, I think so too.
Guyton's not going to go away. Now I understand that Palmer is the handcuff basically guy, but
no, but the empty calorie stuff like matters to their offense.
Yeah, so I mean, Guyton's literally the only one who can separate.
So Gerald Everett maybe is the answer
for sure.
Owner of the single worst individual performance of 2021. But you take that away.
I forgot about that game. Who were they playing against in that game?
It was like 3 fumbles, like a drop. It was like an interception through his hand. It was like all at the goal line. He had like 16 red zone targets. It was ridiculous.
It was like that was like a showdown slate too. I think if I remember correctly.
I think it might have been 4 p.m. But either way, it was again just the worst individual performance of the year. Like they had to talk about it all freaking game after.
So bad.
All right, I'm gonna go with Cam Akers right here. It's like he's being priced fine right now. You could argue he's being priced closer to his floor, barring injury.
Let's do Hayden's idea of going Lamar Bateman here. We're getting weird.
Let's make sure, is Bateman available for sure? Yeah.
He should be there for you guys.
And
Lamar, we have naked Lamar.
No, Lamar, Fields, and Lance are all fine to take with no teammates or no opponents because they can just do it all with their legs.
I still like Allen Robinson and like not having Matthew Stafford. That's like a little team stack, like DFS, just both their receivers when they blow up.
Yeah.
I think you guys are just saying shit now. It's like you're saying it's not even a stack here. Like you're just saying a bunch of week 17 bullshit, or I'm not stacking based on what you're doing regardless.
No.
So.
It's the DFS theory of stacking the expensive players from the high total game, but using Jacoby Brissett at 5,100 because he'll run a little bit.
Right.
Nah.
DFS lineups usually have 2 stacks, and one of them does not involve the quarterback.
Just like when we were going solo with Case Cookus and that Stars offense that just wouldn't center on someone.
Man, I really hope Norris is not tuned into this.
No chance.
He refuses to come on.
Boys. We did it.
It's fine with me.
Have we even asked him, or are we just assuming he wouldn't?
I haven't asked. Well, no, I think I asked him one of the first couple of weeks, and then he kept on not answering me. He didn't even text me back.
He heard once he saw the Zach Ertz, Tyler Algier stack happen live on a stream, he was like, "That's it, man. I'm out. I'm done. I'm not doing."
So to be fair, that one, I think. How much correlation do you think that added? 0.001.
Hayden, I've been using your Eastern Seaboard Winter Storm on New Year's Day example on all these streams and shows because it is just the perfect example of like where your brain needs to be in the galaxy to get the good teams.
it literally, I'm actually hoping it happens.
What is your storm theory?
It's like a polar vortex hits on the entire East Coast, so all dome games are correlated, and all the outside games are completely wiped.
Are 37 totals.
Okay,
give me a 3% chance of that actually happening. I'll take it.
What are the odds? I mean, you got to pull out our Farmer's Almanac. Like, what are the odds of a polar vortex hitting in January?
Yeah, what even is a polar vortex?
This is what we're doing now, though. Week 17. Now we're not even prioritizing the good matchups. We're prioritizing the bad matchups.
No. You're prioritizing games indoors.
And there's like 4 of them. Yeah, it's Cardinals,
Falcons, Bears, Lions,
and all the West Coast games.
I'm freaking starting to. I don't even want to learn these, but I am because all you fuckers keep talking about it. So, look, Chiefs are in Denver and the Bills are in Cincinnati. Like those could be, inclement games for sure.
Denver, I had not processed that information until you just said that right now, Ian. That could end up being a game that everyone is like, oh my God. And then it's 27 degrees in Denver and Mahomes and Russell Wilson are rubbing their hands together on the sideline, trying to keep their fingers from going numb.
Dude, there's another
get on the Cardinals.
Another little DFS correlation over the years is that divisional opponents in their second game usually perform less against salary and based expectation. But see, you guys are getting me in this talk now. I don't even like it. I want to talk football, not this.
I'll give you a little football talk. I was looking at my Charger stuff, and 10 of their last 11 games are in domes. I hope the Chargers just absolutely go completely nuclear.
What are Herbert's MVP odds?
Their off-ball games they drew on their schedule are the Falcons and Jacoby Brissett Browns. Dude, they hit the jack. They're gonna crush the division. They hit the jackpot. They got everything right.
Does Herbert have top 3 MVP odds?
I think he should.
I don't know. He should, but I don't know.
Right. The guy drafting in the 12th spot just took Zeke, Pollard, and Dak Prescott all in a row.
Hell yeah! At CD, he has CD as well.
And he took Gabe Davis at 36. So I can't say anything bad about him.
he has the perfect team.
This is gonna be Bears fan winning the Middle Maker all over again.
I believe this is Zach Kruger, ZK FFB as well of NBC. Guys, source is going all receiver because the Rotoviz brethren always go only wide receiver.
I'm good with Amon-Ra St. Brown here.
I was between him and AJ Dillon, and I took Dillon.
Yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown's in a dome, so
he's in a dome. He's got the super cheap backdoor with Goff and with Fields and Pringle in round 18.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there he goes. So start thinking next. Drake London's still here. I pushed Chris Godwin down for injury.
I think this team, because we already have 3 high capital wide receivers, I actually think we can take Godwin.
So do I.
Okay. Cool.
I like it.
I haven't heard that theory, so that's fine.
Well, it's like the reverse of that is if you're doing a more 0 RB style team where you take an early quarterback and an early tight end. If you take Kelsey Mahomes, that's a team where you can take Thielen because we expect Thielen will probably be dead by week 17. But you'll need a guy to churn out some points for the first 2 months, and that doesn't preclude you then from taking Jalen Tolbert, George Pickens. You can still take rookie wide receivers later.
I like it.
Totally fine with that. We have to start thinking about what we want to do next. We are now pretty much done with tight end. We're in the dead zone. Maybe we sneak one in here in a bit, but we're practically in waiting territory.
When can we take Ramondre?
In a little bit.
Not right now.
Did Eli Mitchell go?
Yeah.
Sometimes
that's why I was going to say Eli was the other one.
He's my favorite. I love Eli Mitchell right in this range.
Yeah, he went at 67.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I agree that Ramondre, he has some good highlights. He had that 90-yard touchdown against a bunch of janitors in the preseason. He had the one play that didn't count against the Colts I've seen 10 million times. Damon, the amount of ifs that go into this dude breaking out is insane. And it's the Patriots backfield again. How many years have we freaking done this? And until a coach is yeah, we like him as our third down RB, he literally said that he practiced catching and stuff in the offseason. I hope so, man. You're a professional running back. What else is he going to work on? It's that or rushing or blocking. Okay, if James White's out, if Pierre Strong, they don't care about, even though he has the same draft capital.
I'm good with Sanders.
If JJ Taylor or Kevin fucking Harris or some random guy doesn't get the pass down job. And throughout all that, Damon Harris is still getting all the freaking rush attempts.
I like Amari here too.
I don't like Amari here.
This will be the latest he's going to go. Yeah, zoom in. Baby.
No, he is going to – you don't think he's going to get cheaper than this? He is going to get cheaper than this,
Deshaun's already ADP 200. I feel like that's a signal that we've priced in the suspension. I think there's upside.
He's going to get – Cooper is going to get – he is going to go – there will be a week where he is outside the top 100 picks.
Woo. Damn. Okay.
No one wants Jacoby Brissett's wide receiver 1. Deep Sea 2017 is listening to the show and just heard Ian's Damian Harris rant and is like, you know what? I got to smash that button.
But we could have had a second half of the season hammer and Chris Godwin and Amari Cooper from Deshaun Watson. That's my only argument.
Here's the thing. If I win $2 million, I just don't really want to win $2 million as it pertains to Deshaun Watson.
That's fair.
And like, obviously that's like hypocritical because like Tyreek Hill and like there are lots of these guys who have done bad things, but I don't know. It's just so viscerally bad with Watson. It's just like,
I just said this earlier. People like Davis are not going to want to draft Watson. Like
Ian is literally right. Like, it's not only that I think
you're going to draft Watson. You're going to draft Watson. Like, I know what people want to do, but that's
I don't think he's going to be top 12.
Dictates their actions.
ADP.
Well, no, he shouldn't be top 12 anyways.
No, I mean it is a totally reasonable point for me.
Yeah.
Not a reasonable point about the Patriots backfield though. That type of like, you just got to not take these guys because we don't know is like, dude, that's so lizard brain.
No, but he's becoming like, okay, fine. If he's outside the top 40 running backs, okay. But like he profiles as the Patriots RB2. Like,
yeah, he's getting real trendy.
I think all right, everyone that is talking about so much still has Damien Harris ranked ahead of him. Like, this is what pisses me off. Like,
I do not. I would take Ramondre straight up over Damien, even in half-point PPR.
It's just like, it reminds me of draft season when, you know, like David Bell like profiles as Devontae Adams. He's my wide receiver 7 in the class.
Right.
Give me a break.
But like, no one's gonna. I mean, no one really ranks though, because that's not how rankings work still. Because you still have to factor in probabilities. Like, I think there's only one if, and that's if James White's healthy. If James White's not healthy, Ramondre Stevenson is the pass catching back. It's not Damon Harris. It's not Pierre Strong, because they have not done.
Would you have said it was going to be Brandon Bolden last year? Are you freaking kidding me?
It was Brandon Bolden.
But it was Bolden and Ramondre.
It was Brandon Bolden, yeah. But it was Brandon Bolden.
Damon Harris had more targets than Ramondre last year. I know he played a few more games, but like, I think we are. Where do we get all this confidence about knowing the Patriots backfield from? Brandon Bolden, a like 39-year-old career special teamer, came in and played pass downs last year when James White got hurt. That happened.
But the market is not that confident though. If the market was confident, the Patriots were the 7th team in defensive offensive DVOA last year. Damian and Ramondre both smashed relative to their like touches. And neither of them are going inside the top. Well, I guess Damian Harris is going inside the top 100 picks, but he is the only Patriot going in the top 100 picks because no one has any clue what they're going to do.
I think Ramondre is starting to be valued about right. I feel like I can't scroll through Twitter these days without seeing a sleeper of the year case made for him.
That's Saquon Barkley. Fucking Saquon Barkley. My God, get him off my feed. I can't do it anymore. It's the same sheep take everyone has. Oh, Saquon Barkley's going to be RB1. Good job. Congratulations on your original thought. Get out of here. God bless Saquon Barkley, man. Get him off the field.
When the Giants are bad, like we're just all gonna have to eat it so much.
It's gonna be the most unsurprising thing ever, too.
I know they're so trendy, and like Kadarius Toney is literally like maybe the biggest riser in BBM3 from when it opened, and like he's gonna be like kicked off the team in like week 3, like, and it's just gonna be like, well, what'd you expect?
This is my Jets take. Like, we're drafting Breece Hall and Elijah Moore. So
we're not.
Look up.
We are not, sir.
It's just gonna be like, oh, they're the damn Jets and Zach Wilson.
I like
BYU.
I like Elijah Moore. I like Elijah Moore.
I did too. I just don't like the damn Jets. Come on.
All right, this is where we're at. We can look at more wide receivers. Dallas Goedert's the best tight end available. This is the mix of wide receivers available.
It's throwing me off not doing it by ADP. I don't know where any of my dudes are.
I like Kirk after ADP.
I mean, these ADP, though, is only like 7 spots off. Like, it's not even that much, though.
I would take Tony here if I was drafting by myself.
Tony works. Christian Kirk works. Those would be
We're taking Tony over Christian Kirk. Even if I don't like Tony, we're taking Tony over Christian Kirk. He at least had one good game last year.
He had like 2.5, but him and Albert O, it's like, with this, if we really had like 5 fewer targets for him and Alberto, like I wonder if the hype would be there, because literally both guys just barely crossed the 50 target threshold that most people were queried down to. Like, you know, we can talk about how great Jesper Horsted was last year if we don't really care about.
I really wish that Alberto would not have had that. Like, I wish he wouldn't have kind of gotten that Colt status, because he was like I was heading into the season. I was like, I'm literally going to take him on every team. And now he's like a little bit too like a 12th round pick sometimes.
His ADP really isn't that pricey though. If you think he's going to be like
it is for a guy who literally might project for 47 targets.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think everyone overrates Greg Dulcich because everyone likes rookies. Like I do
They're
not
both
give a shit
Crane,
about
the
Greg
Crane
Dulcich.
false flag operation on
I
Greg
could care
Dulcich.
less about. Greg
Hey, but how about this? Like, all right, you guys can pick. And then
Ramondre.
or Chase Claypool for a bring back.
Oh, I'm good with Claypool. Yeah.
over Tyler Lockett. Y'all are fucking.
Tyler Lockett correlates with the Jets, and you just said you don't want to take any Jets.
Hey,
Tyler Lockett. We've seen Tyler Lockett's ceiling. Like at least we know he has a ceiling.
What's his ceiling with Drew Lock?
With Geno Smith, sir, who he led the team in target share from Geno Smith.
I can see Tyler Lockett's ceiling right in the rearview mirror right now.
Yeah.
All right, here's my thing. Oh, I'm on the clock. Fuck. You, Kareem Hunt.
I like these wide receivers more than the wide receivers that go 2 rounds like earlier. Than
100%. Yeah.
Like round 7 is the dead zone for all positions. There's not I usually just like end up taking like Tom Brady or the best quarterback.
It's why I'm like 7th round Trey Lance sounds fine to me because I'm taking Trey Lance over Michael Thomas every time.
Yeah.
It's just a juicy IPA. Svi. That's all it is.
Okay, yeah, I think there's way too much and Albert O and Cole Kmet aren't egregiously priced, but when we're picking our shots in that kind of muddled tight end 2 range, like if you look at Daniel Hackett, who's now in Denver, and Luke Getsy, and now in the Bears, coming from Matt LaFleur, like Robert Tonyan went the hell off in 2020, and what happened before he got hurt last year? It was like a 3 or 4 tight end system. So I really think like 50, 60 targets for both these guys. That should probably be like, you know, your projection for him. Dulcich's going to be there. And then even in Chicago, man, like we're using Cole Kmet's every down status in a completely different offense. They brought in Ryan Griffin and James O'Shaughnessy. Cole Kmet's been incredibly mid his entire career. Like find me one efficiency stat other than getting targets, which is great. But my God,
so mid, dude.
If there's ever going to be an exception, like look at guys like Mooney and Cole Kmet, and you know,
I mean, the Bears, like I don't know, they just might not score an offensive touchdown. Like they might be the first team to go 7th. Like they just don't care. Yeah,
like I can't like 2015 or whatever it was.
I can't believe. Oh yeah, no wide receiver touchdown. I can't believe their win total still 6.5. Like it should be 5.
I was looking at that today and we're surprised.
It hasn't gone down either. I'm shocked by that.
Look at their off. Like, how are they legally allowed to do the transactions they just did? Like the draft and free agency alike? They literally don't want to win. They have the 2nd most effective cap space in the league, pretty much the most, with Cleveland doing their Watson hijinks with the first year going on. So they're just literally, it's one of the most blatant tanking things with your quarterback of the future, or potentially. Like, I know the regime didn't draft him, but like, these are supposed to be the years where you have the extra cap room with hopefully a high-end quarterback on a rookie deal, and the Bears are like, we'll see what happens in 2023.
7 of their picks are already 25 years old from the draft. Like they focused on age for some reason. It's bad. It's really bad. You just gotta
Jones, baby.
Just look at their offensive line. That's all you need to see, genuinely, from the whole team. It's atrocious.
PFF 31st ranked offensive
sad
line.
It's sad that we're just like never gonna find out if Fields is actually good or not, because by the time like they're not gonna take his rookie option, they'll just are gonna move on and he'll be Jacoby Brissett basically.
Yeah.
Sad.
He'll be Jacoby Brissett, or he'll be Daniel Jones, just a career backup for the rest.
No, but they gave Daniel Jones is getting a year with weapons. Fields will probably never get that.
But in already declining his option, like they already know they're moving on. Like after declining your option, you're not going to re-sign the quarterback.
Well, I know, but what I'm saying is Daniel Jones is at least like they hired like a good coach and stuff. Yeah. Like they hired a defensive coordinator.
They did everything right this offseason. Genuinely did everything right. But like Jones and Barkley aren't coming back. There's no way they bring them back.
Yeah.
They don't want those issues. Like that's Gettleman's problem, not theirs.
Is somebody in trade for Saquon at the trade deadline this year?
No.
Isn't he owed? Like, didn't they pay him?
It was like 5th-year options.
They asked for a 2nd rounder and no one gave it to him. Like no one wanted.
But like at the deadline.
Who wants Saquon Barkley? Like what team?
No. You just get replacement value running backs.
It was so sad last year how you couldn't tell the difference between him and Devontae Booker.
You could tell Booker was actually getting to the 2nd level.
Hey guys, look who I'm drafting.
No, I tried to hide the screen.
We gotta take Edmonds. He's the only guy who's got.
He's gone too, and he just
wins
anyways. Who's our quarterbacks and tight ends? I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the.
We got to take Henderson. We got to take Henderson.
Quarterbacks and tight ends really quick. This is where we're at.
Oh, we're mid tier. Let's go. Yeah, find your best running back.
Any running back, Daigle. It doesn't matter.
Can I go? Yeah, I like Madison among this group.
You got 4 seconds.
Madison is fine.
I'm gonna say, don't tell me Rashad White either.
You don't like Rashad White?
No.
I would think Daryl Henderson.
I think he's highly overrated as ADP.
Keyshawn Vaughn's free and probably getting drafted like 3% of the time. I'm just throwing that out there.
I think Henderson has arguably like same handcuff upside as Madison and could have stand.
And could be in there on third downs anyway. Yeah, I agree. I mean, we literally saw this.
We'll have opportunity to get all these guys.
Yeah, I mean, we literally saw this guy be a good fantasy running back 6 months ago.
I'm just looking here.
We don't have a Chief or a Bronco, do we?
Michael Carter too, man. Like he's one of those guys that I don't think Breece Hall is going to take.
Carter.
He's not going to take. Like Hall will lead, but it could be more split than people are giving it credit for. And then if Hall gets hurt, we know they're cool with giving Carter these legit 70% plus snap workloads. Every single of these broken tackle metrics that Javonte Williams truthers jerked themselves off to all apply to Michael Carter.
I want Daryl Henderson or Alberto.
I think Daryl Henderson.
We can wait too. I think we can wait. But yeah, keep him started for now. Yeah, I think we can wait.
So you want to go? Alberto went.
I don't want any of these guys. I would go to quarterback if there was something. I'm not sure if there is. Or Galladay.
It's Tua, Jameis.
That's fine.
We're gonna get Henderson. It's not that bad of a reach. It's 14 spots, a full round, whatever. It's okay.
Plus, we got the stack, bro. Week 17. All the money's all the money's in week 17.
I forgot.
We got to get there, but yeah, all the money is decided in week 17. That is a fact.
What was that part you said, Daigle? You got to get there. I don't think I've ever heard anyone bring that into the equation.
Getting there is just random, Ian.
Oh yes, the 1 week sample is all skill, and the other 16 weeks are all random.
Well, I mean that's like a more philosophical conversation about like, do you just want to get as many teams to advance as possible, or do you want to optimize for where the most money is?
I think we can do both. I trust us. We're smart enough to figure it out. We can do both.
I know I'm not listening to these bye-week truthers, and we have 3 running backs to the bye in week 7. We're getting a 5th running back. I don't care what anyone says.
Oh, we might go 6. I like our wide receivers.
We can take Keyshawn Vaughn in the 18th round. Hayden just gave out the alpha.
That is the pick right now. Dude, all I'm saying is he's big enough. For this, we play for money. It's cool. We got like $750 to first place tournaments on the back, and we were just like ripping them like 24/7.
Oh, cool. That is awesome. Yeah.
So when I say I have exposures to players, it's not because I'm ripping BBM3 drafts. We got like the bandit 3s and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, I think Levine should add to the guarantees prize pool for you guys.
Yeah. I want to get into BBM3 street so bad. This just I need a little bit more sweat.
Levine could put up $3 million for an employee-only tournament. That's pretty easy for him.
I wouldn't say no.
You just gotta, Hayden. You just gotta buy half of someone's action. That's the move.
Not allowed to do that, and not allowed to talk about it.
The lawyers would just absolutely
not allowed to do that. Especially since like all the hirings behind the scenes are basically regulators. Not allowed to do any of that, Davis.
It's actually very illegal, but otherwise, good idea.
Tough scenes, dude. I mean, it was the same when JJ worked for FanDuel. Like he couldn't do our FFPC main event team with me and Silva and Thorman and Reeves, like, which sucks for him. But now he can because he's doing his own thing.
He couldn't play FanDuel either, right?
Couldn't do any. I mean, he couldn't. He could not play any like state regulated gaming anything.
You miss out on those FanDuel Pick'em weekly tournaments too, since every player's priced the exact same and it doesn't matter. Just play a stack. FanDuel's the best for DFS.
Yeah, it's like so fun. It's like so funny how the FanDuel user interface is so bad that I would rather lose on DraftKings than deposit.
That's
on
me.
FanDuel.
That's me in the DraftKings best ball tournament, which Hayden has never heard of. Dude, I will never forget 2 years ago how they screwed everyone over and gave away free tickets. I cannot believe y'all still play DraftKings tournaments. I am not supporting their best ball product. That's crazy.
I think their $5 shit is gonna fill.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's you interface, the ADP, everything is so bad. They don't try. They literally don't try.
It's terrible.
I've never heard of him.
It's offensive. Yeah, I know. It's offensive. I see people talking about it. I still can't. I'll never forgive them giving away tickets after I put X amount of money in.
What do we got for tight ends here?
We're in this range, buddy. We're in this range.
Why is a top 20 pick going outside the top 60 wide receivers?
Who?
Jahan fucking Dotson. He might be sick.
Is he?
He seems pretty mid.
He's just pretty unimpressive.
An NFL team just used a top 20 pick on him.
Yeah,
I don't
barely an NFL team.
I don't want to support Carson Wentz as number 2 or 3. I will not support that.
I think we take Tonyan here. We got Aaron Jones. We got Madison.
What about? Okay.
Running back and tight end definitely has got to be negatively correlated with
these mock drafts I read said he should have gone 35 and he went 17. So I'm even more out on him.
I like Hines too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I like Tonyan. I like Herbert. I like Hines.
I think we can go Hunter Henry and set up a little backdoor Mac Jones.
Oh, I like that.
The number of times Hayden says Hunter Henry on this fucking show, I swear.
Well, sorry that there's not a single Patriots pass catcher that goes inside the top 140. Like, did Mac Jones?
Maybe for a reason.
I mean, give me a break. I talk about Mac Jones. I'm the only person that talks positively about Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, Hayden, I think you put it right. In Alabama, he was really good. As a rookie, he was really good. Maybe he's really good.
He's Philip Rivers. That's my take.
Philip Rivers under Bill Belichick.
Yeah, so Tom Brady.
Still Philip Rivers.
That's a take I would not throw.
Well, hold on. Let's wait till he gets here.
I literally my brain is so broken from not it just being in the same order it's in for me every single day when I'm doing
Gerald Everett.
that I'm so lost. I'm good with that. I'm fine. Totally fine with that.
No, go with Henry.
We gotta go Henry. You gotta set up the other stacks.
Set up your freaking stack, man.
This is a stack. It's the Chargers and the Rams.
Dude, we don't
Henry. Yeah.
No, because remember our thing was we were only mini stacking that game.
Yeah, we gotta do Hunter Henry.
Just
we
go
gotta do Hunter Henry.
Yeah, Henry.
9 touchdowns and 40.
Yeah, we're fading the Chargers Rams. Remember?
All right. Well, we can delete Van Jefferson for the conversation as well.
Good.
All right. Let's get back over here. Ian, how do you think your draft's going?
Well, now that Gerald Everett might fall to me pretty good.
You got Patrick Mahomes. You don't have a Chiefs stack.
I got MVS.
Oh, you got MVS. Yeah, you do. You got to get a Bronco in your life.
Maybe not. I think it's all right. Saquon, Akers, Dillon, Hunt, Stevenson, bunch of dogs, if you ask me. Jamar, Keenan, Devontae, MVS, Dotson. Wide receivers are weak. We'll see who I can get in the final few rounds. Went a little later than I would have liked that tight end. Zach Ertz for a while, guys. It was him or Gronk were always like all right, let's get one of these guys if I haven't already. Obviously, Gronk's out of the picture. Now Ertz is going in this one or the other one I'm in. He went ahead of Goddard even. So tougher to get Zach Ertz that late anymore. But Irv Smith, Gerald Everett, 2 of my favorite late round guys. I'll probably get a third there at some point. Don't know that I need 4 though.
Hayden, I know you've mentioned Isaiah Spiller in the past. I wrote that in my Chargers preview that I'm basically just treating him like Alexander Madison, someone that I don't expect to have weekly value, but I see the ceiling in him and drafting him and stashing him.
Yeah, Eckler was asking them for Isaiah Spiller. Isaiah Spiller is I don't think he's explosive or anything like that, but he played on all 3 downs for an offense that translates to the NFL. There's a reason why all the NFL scouts liked him.
There was a great Eckler interview last week. He was doing media availability, and he was
so good.
He was like, "Yeah, please don't make me carry the ball 250 times." They were like, "Can you say anything nice or kind about Isaiah Spiller?" Basically, and he was like, "Yeah, no, he seems to pay attention in meetings." So I don't know.
I'll take that.
I don't know if the Spiller experiment is going that well.
Davis, how many yards per carry did Joshua Kelly and Larry Roundtree average last year?
My guess is combined sub 3.
It was 3.4.
It's got to be
2.4.
Oh, I was going to say below 3.
Yeah. Keep in mind, they've tried to do this with Kalen Ballage. There's another guy in there in the rotation whose name I've completely forgotten.
Justin Jackson's still a free agent somewhere.
Yeah, Justin Jackson not on the team.
Yeah.
He's a free agent.
They don't like him for some. I don't get it really.
He had that one good game against the Texans.
Completely. Yeah, it's not surprising that the NFL doesn't like Justin Jackson now. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you can't be speaking out about things you believe in. All right, looking at this though, Jackson, Roundtree, and Kelly last year, 137 carries and 33 targets. Like, I'm with Daigle here. Like, I think Spiller's a pure handcuff because he's not getting all of that. Like, we've seen them constantly rotate these guys. It seems like wishful thinking on a late round pick that we talked about a lot in the spring. Like, it just seems like one of those guys to me.
I like him. If he's in your lineup, that means the person that drafted somebody 6 overall is dead. So, like, I'm in.
That or your team sucks. Yeah, one of those. But yeah, like I said, just like Alexander Madison, same thing. Tony Pollard too. I think
That's almost the problem. Pollard. That's almost the problem with Madison. The fact he's starting to creep towards even RB3 territory. I think Carter and Darrell Henderson, just where they're going rounds later, I'm taking them every time.
We also, we need a second quarterback. We can't run true naked Lamar.
We just set up the back door, baby.
No, Mac Jones went after us.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Horrendous. All right, let's pivot. Let's figure this thing out.
Tannehill, Nick Westbrook, and Keen.
Oh, hey, we got Godwin Davis.
Oh, perfect. Set it up. Click the button.
Oh, hold on, we're not up yet.
Deep Sea 2012. Can't wait.
Buddy, I know. I already see. I try to what we're doing here.
We are doing that, Daigle. Yes, we are.
I already see it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, are we taking Daniel Jones Wandale?
No, Daniel Jones already went, unfortunately, because I do.
We got something cooking. Go to the wide receiver tab. Let's go.
We got something cooking, Davis.
Anytime you can take a guy who audibly said no when his new quarterback got traded
they
for,
correlate.
You gotta do it.
They correlate.
Okay, so I moved Robbie Anderson in our top 250 up to 132. ETR has him at 108, and he just went at 166 and probably would have gone at like 175. So I think that tells everyone to just temper expectations.
This guy drafting at 11, it must be a fan of me. He just took Taysom Hill at 14-11.
Bro, is Taysom gonna be ready? Like coming off the list, Frank?
Yeah, I just don't discuss this at all because it totally invalidates my entire thing. So I'd appreciate it if while I'm on the air, we don't talk about the fact that he's injured.
Goodness. There's just like a handful of injuries that we're just not
like the KJ Hamler. Like, please do not talk to me about the fact that KJ Hamler is hurt. Like, I can't mentally deal with it.
Oh, I didn't realize he dislocated his hip on the same play. That's gonna be one of the worst injuries in the last like 5 years.
Baker.
What?
Baker? Guaranteed Baker.
Do we want Baker? Do we wait on Baker and go Cam? Break.
No, we need to get Baker. I don't think we can.
Baker.
Did you just say Cam?
Yeah.
Cam.
Cam
it's still the Bucks. It's the Bucks.
Oh, Cam Brate. I was like Cam Newton. I was like, what league are we in?
Because like we could probably we're gonna take Baker now, but we could probably wait on Baker. Honestly,
Cade Otton, baby.
We're not going Cade fucking Otton.
Even though Kyle Rudolph. Kyle Rudolph. That's the answer.
It's definitely not Kyle Rudolph. Even though like I understand tight end production.
They're going into the season with Brayton Otton. That's it. They're good.
I think it'd be Kyle Rudolph, but it'll be Cameron Brate for fantasy.
It will be Cam Brate for fantasy. And people talking about his results. The results don't fucking matter when you play with Tom Brady. Just throw a guy out there who plays with Tom Brady.
Dude, the Bucks thought Gronk was coming back. That was reported. They're not. They're going to add another tight end. People are going to freak out no matter who it is, like you always do.
What if Gronk just comes back?
I still think that's a bad storyline. Like
Mike
I don't agree with that.
Did you see that Mike Evans quote?
Oh no.
Somebody asked him about is Gronk going to come back? He's like, yeah, I don't think so.
I think that's a bad take. I do not agree with the sentiment that Gronk is coming back. He's already walked away once. Why can't he just walk away for a year again? Maybe he comes back next year. But
for the Dolphins, when Tom Brady is the
owner. Tom Brady,
I think it's for the Bills. Yeah. We'll always have that 24-hour report he wanted to play for his hometown Bills.
And we'll also have the 6-hour AB on the Bills moment.
That was great times.
J.D. McKissick was on the Bills for 12 hours.
Yeah, was it with Buffalo?
AB with Josh Allen. Dude, we see what Diggs has done. AB would have been going for like 2K.
All right, let's get back on this. Okay, I do kind of like our backdoor stack here because if Baker starts, it probably will be. I don't know if he's going to start week 1, but he'll definitely make starts. after the first month of the season.
Baker's totally starting in.
I don't know. I don't know if they're going to make it. I mean, it was only a 5th round pick. I don't know if they're going to make it a true competition. Like they may just be stubborn and go with.
Okay, but who in their rotation do we think he's going to lose a competition to?
No, but I don't know if I don't know if they will actually hold the competition instead of just like boosting.
I would say if it was anybody but the Cleveland Browns that they were playing in week 1, I would assign a probability that someone else would start. But the fact that they're happen to be playing the Browns in week 1, like I would wager, someone could put up. I would bet this line up to like -900 that Baker will throw the first pass in week 1.
Bro, I hope Baker
Darnold's not going to make it out of that game alive.
Come on, give me 1 week, Baker. Week 1. Go for 400, 4 touchdowns, whip your cock out at midfield afterwards. Like
100%.
Go all in.
Could not agree more.
If the Browns get Jimmy G, that really would change things, but I don't know what their ability to do that is. Like, you know, I'm not sure if it's cool to still say the cap doesn't exist or if we're fighting back on that, but I don't know. Make it happen because he's not starting in San Francisco. Get that storyline out of here.
Well, Jimmy G's got no guaranteed money. He's going to be forced to make like $6 million this year, and it's not going to be really up.
Wait, is that true?
Yeah.
I thought he had a huge cap hit.
Right now, but he has no guarantees. So like right now, the 49ers can just say, hey, I'll give you $6 million guaranteed, or I can cut.
Also, if the Browns take it on, since they're only paying Deshaun Watson $1 million this year, they have the money. They'll just take on the contract and then cut Jimmy G next year.
If I were Jimmy G, I would just say release me right now and I can pick my team. But
by the way, we're getting another tight end on this team. Like we can't do this.
Yeah, we're taking K. Dotton. We just decided, bro.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, for the sake of a tournament, we're gonna have to assume Baker starts all year. Like we have to assume that.
And we got Lamar, dude.
It's not Tommy Trumbull. They're going to split snaps with him and Ian Thomas, and the Panthers throw their tight ends less than anyone.
Austin Hooper is going to run the most routes of this group by
2x. Like Austin Hooper.
It's Hooper and Ingram. After Logan Thomas, no ACL, old. Mo Alley Cox, never going to happen. Ricky Seals-Jones behind the 5th rounder. Brevin Jordan, please. Harrison Bryant backup. Uzoma backup. Troutman doesn't exist.
Okay, we're done. Backup. We're done.
Terrible.
Yeah.
They
all suck. I know they all suck.
I like the Mo Alley Cox slander.
No.
Once Taysom goes, there's no one left with any ceiling.
Mo Alley Cox got like $18 million to be Matt Ryan's number 1 tight end. Mo Alley Cox is just Albert O in the last round.
I can't get down with that because I think their red zone offense is just going to be handing Jonathan Taylor the ball.
I like Hooper Ingram here for sure.
Bro, Taylor had like 20 extra carries, the next closest running back in the red zone last year.
These are the slowest. These are all pontoon boat tight ends. Like just literally.
They're not going forward.
Like has anyone seen Harrison Bryant and Adam Troutman and Austin Hooper and Hunter Henry and Robert Tonyan all in the same room? Are we sure
they've never been on the field together for a reason?
Are we sure these are not all just the same dude?
And Robert Tonyan, for as far as I'm concerned, they're all the same guy. This is a touchdown scoring group. I will say that. If someone's going to get a target inside the 10-yard line, it's these slow motherfuckers right here.
That's the other thing about Cole Kmet. Like, oh yeah, Jimmy Graham was the problem with the touchdowns. Had nothing to do with playing on the freaking Chicago Bears.
That's the argument for Drake London and Kyle Pitts. So for Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow, I've just been taking the other where I don't get the other one because like they can't correlate. They can't score together because like we don't believe in that. So
Kyle Pitts' one touchdown comes with like a D end on him at the goal line too. I mean, he's
at least it's going to be Anthony Ferguson pissing us off this year.
I forgot he existed.
Last year was atrocious.
He's back with Arthur Smith.
He is back with Arthur Smith.
He's going to get like 25 targets. And
he played 39% of snaps last year and ran around on 93% of those 39% snaps when he was on the field.
Dude, I thought
atrocious.
I thought he was going to be their slot receiver, and they were just like, nah.
All right, this is where we're at, boys.
Jamal Williams time.
Davis, aren't you high on Jamal Williams?
I mean, he just is like a clear handcuff.
He's there.
Yeah.
Dude, he might F around and find himself at the goal line a couple times too, I think.
Yeah. I mean, he was pretty decent last year.
He's a reasonable player.
He averaged 12 touches with DeAndre Swift. Like I thought it was.
He also had that run in Green Bay where he was like the running back 1 in fantasy for like 3 weeks 2 years ago when Aaron Jones was out, which was like a sickening. Like I think he had back-to-back 30-point weeks if I am remembering correctly.
Yeah, he can do it on 3 downs, even if he's not, quite as dynamic as Swift, obviously. But who is the issues? And I honestly remembered his handcuff streak being worse than it was. He just didn't find the end zone, which, like, you're on the Lions. It's not that surprising. I don't think it was on Jamal. He had 20 touches, 18 touches, and then 19 touches. A lot in the rushing game, but he is a guy that can catch 5 balls. His snap rates were under 50% in 2 of those games because he was dealing with hip, thigh injuries and also had COVID later in the year. So Hayden and I talked about this before. Craig Reynolds would probably be like their backup, but I think it would be much more the Jamal show if he was healthy.
What about Godwin Igwebuike, the converted Notre Dame safety?
That was classic. God. The other thing about Jamal Williams is he's the funniest dude in the NFL, and when Hard Knocks comes around this summer,
we're getting the Hard Knocks bump.
He's going up, so get your bags now.
I didn't really realize Jamal Williams was going this late. What is the This seems bad.
He actually isn't usually. This is pretty late. I think his ADP is
180, right?
I think his ADP is like 176.
I've been drafting him more than almost any running back.
Yeah,
I definitely gotta stop drafting KJ Hamler.
Oh yes, whenever you think about KJ Hamler, just draft Jamal Williams, and then
I just am realizing in this range, it's just so automatic for me, and knowing now, having thousands of dollars of exposure to a guy who's not going to play, he's this early seems
not
bad.
Good. Not good.
All that matters that it shows up in week 17, Daigle.
That's true. It'll matter. It'll help out.
OBJ finally went down. He was going ahead of Fuller and Julio for
Will Fuller doesn't exist, Ian. You can't find me proof in the last find me proof of life on Will Fuller.
Oh, just something.
He deleted his Instagram. I went on Instagram. I tried to find his account. It was just all fan pages.
Yeah,
tough.
He's on the same boat as Andrew Luck right now.
Is Dallas a sneaky team to have one of these guys? I know we always talk about Green Bay, Baltimore, and Indy. I know the Athletics said T.Y. Hilton, whoever's writing it, was kind of expecting T.Y. to come back to Indy. What if Julio picks Dallas instead of Green Bay?
They need it because they got Dallas talking about getting owned by misreading the market, selling Amari Cooper on less money than Christian Kirk is making for a 5th round pick. What an absolute no idea what got.
It was the worst. It was the worst deal of the offseason.
It seemed fine at the time.
Yeah. And they misread the market entirely.
And then Christian Kirk's getting paid the GDP of Ghana. It's so bad.
It's bad. It was really bad. At least for Washington, the second worst deal was probably Washington taking on Carson Wentz's $26 million. But at least that's 1 year and you're done.
Buddy, paying a 3rd round pick for the right to take on Carson Wentz's money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at least it's 1 year and you're done. He's no guaranteed money after that. They can cut him and they'll be done with him. Amari Cooper is a 2-year deal. Basically, they traded away for nothing. It's ridiculous.
It was really, and now and Gallup's not going to be back until week 5. So for
you got James Washington in a walking boot at OTAs. Yeah.
Hope you guys get to know the name Simi Fehoko because you are gonna have to watch him play.
Did they even they let Malik Turner go to San Fran? He actually did. There's a Malik Taylor out there too, though.
They let Malik Taylor. Malik Taylor is the Packer. Malik Turner is the Cowboy.
That's right. But he was actually okay as their number 4 or 5.
Well, it's more bad that they let Cedric Wilson walk for nothing when he'd been there for 4 years.
He got 19 mil. I don't know what Miami was doing. That's
did he really? Okay.
Yeah, because that was weird that they paid him that much because they already have all these slot guys and that's why I think Gesicki is going too high. I don't know when he's gonna be on the field, but maybe they just say you'll be a bad blocker. Fuck it, get out there.
So we have room for running back or a wide receiver. It's up to you.
I think. What about quarterback? Is there any quarterbacks that breathe?
No. Norris would tell us we're disrespecting Mariota. We need a wide receiver.
I prefer taking a Ritter than Mariota. Actually,
we need a wide receiver.
Starts.
I can't with the round 3
but
NFL quarterbacks.
He's going to start. He's going to make starts.
I really
yes, you
don't.
do.
Duvernay.
Marcus Mariota.
I really don't. Matt Corral and these guys enough.
Hayden, any favorites here? Oh yeah, now we're on. Oh, Duvernay just went.
That is so, dude. This guy.
What about Keyshawn Vaughn?
Keyshawn Vaughn, let's do it. I forgot about that. You gave us the alpha.
What about Haskins or Foreman?
I prefer Foreman, but
I go Foreman.
Dude, Hayden.
No,
This is the only joy. This is the only joy Hayden gets is getting to draft these drafts. Let's give him his 18th round pick, bro.
I can't wait for
undrafted players in the 18th
house, and I come up for dinner in your $1 million house because of this Keyshawn Vaughn pick.
Oh, I didn't even think about that, but like theoretically, the regulators, if this team bonks $2 million, like you can't like Daigle's gonna have to send me a wire, and you're getting nothing.
And I think Venmo gets flagged at like 2K. So yeah, we're gonna be using
Hayden
some blockchain, Davis.
Hayden, if we bonk, I will take you out to a super nice steakhouse dinner. You can have whatever you want. You can order the oldest whiskey in the joint.
The lawyers then would still be mad at that. So I can't. I would.
He
not
can't agree to anything, Davis. He can't agree to anything.
Tough scene to be Hayden Winks.
All right, let's go ahead and look at this. I think it's this one. Yep. So we're at Ian. You walk us through your team first.
Let me get this up.
You say you didn't have strong receivers, but you did start strong. I mean, you still got Jamar and Keenan.
Oh no, this team's loaded, man. We're feeling great here. Chase, Saquon, Keenan. I'd like going 2 or 3 running backs early here, but the board fell the way it did. Just fine with that. Cam Akers, him and James Conner, just kind of where they're going. It just, we're just kind of relying on them being dust or washed or some shit. And if they're not, then they're going to have some of the most fantasy friendly roles out there. Let me try to get the team up because they. All right, okay. I got Mahomes early because he actually fell to pick 53. I haven't gotten much of him yet, so I was happy to do that. Stacked him with MVS. I was looking at Wentz or Baker, and they kind of got going. So I went ahead and I took Pickett and Trubisky late with a George Pickens there. I don't know about that strategy, but we went with it, and it is what it is.
I'm going to go ahead and say it's not an optimal $2 million strategy. Just a guess.
I will say, though, this, when you're doing it around 16, 17, I've talked about this before with Carson Wentz. Like, if you can get a decent QB2 in those late ranges, that might be better than throwing a dart at some of these running backs or wide receivers
you're totally right. Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate it.
And in week 16, Trubisky is going to be the quarterback one, but then he blows out his hamstring, and then in comes week 17, and no one's going to have him.
And it's it's the Ravens, and you're the only guy who has Pickett against the Ravens, and he throws 3 touchdowns to Pickett.
That was like 13 what ifs.
I appreciate you guys like making my much more basic strategy. It's complicated. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, again, I would have liked to get some before that, but is what it is. Got Dotson, Pickens, Isaiah McKenzie very late. I forget who brought Davis. Might have been you actually. You've had some good tweets lately, man. The Jamison Crowder contract really being nothing. Like
how about Hayden Winks here? He is making less money than the winner of Best Ball Mania 3. If you win Best Ball Mania 3, you will have made more money in the tax year 2022.
It might have been Hayden. Like, what if McKenzie just starts? Like, I don't
even care about the money. McKenzie and Crowder were splitting first team reps from the slot in OTAs. Like, that tells you everything.
And Crowder stinks. He's entering into year 8. He's never had a 1,000-yard season. He gets hurt every year. He's getting paid nothing. Like, there's just no reason to think he is a serious part of this.
The argument is their ADP should be much closer, and it's not. Isaiah McKenzie is literally just forgotten about, and I think that's ridiculous. Yes.
Tight ends week, but I got Irv, Everett, Higbee, which are 3 of the kind of guys in that tier I like. So yeah, so I would have said I would prefer to get an earlier tight end and earlier quarterback, but made the most of it. And see you guys in week 17.
Davis, this is practically, it's kind of all of our child here, but go ahead and walk us through this team.
I mean, I liked executing the different strategy. We got our anchor running back in Aaron Jones, and then we have a bunch of different guys to try and patch up the second. I like your wide receivers. I'm a little worried about your running backs. The 3 slow white guys tight end. I mean, like, so this is where I've
touchdown scoring tight ends.
This is the year for it.
This is touchdown scoring tight ends.
This is where I'm at with tight end in Best Ball Mania 3. I think probably the best teams, the highest advance rates are going to be Kelsey, Andrews, Pitts, Waller, Kelsey, or
Big Five.
Kittle, the Big Five.
Yeah.
But if we don't have a record-breaking crazy season for many of those guys, and Kelsey gets injured, Kittle gets injured, just Waller takes a step back in volume, then I literally think it's going to be almost random because I don't see a great breakout candidate. And so I literally think the best advance rates are going to be teams that draft 3 guys and they're statistical output just matches up in the most optimal way. So like, it doesn't even matter if they're good or not, but it just happens that Brevin Jordan, Austin Hooper, and Evan Ingram had the perfect distribution of spike weeks. So I don't think this strategy is the best way to win $2 million, but I do think it's an interesting like roster hedge against those elite tight end teams and just betting that the tight end scoring is going to be more flat this year.
What has been the strategy you've been using most since you mentioned you're not sure if this is the way it wins?
I do take one of those 5 guys like a huge chunk of the time.
Okay.
Yeah, especially Kittle and Waller, like that. Now that you can sometimes get those guys in the 5th round.
That is my big thing, is that Pitts' ADP, like whatever, he goes in the 3rd round. Actually, typically he went behind schedule here.
Yeah.
But Pitts' ADP usually goes in the 3rd round, and Waller and Kittle usually go like at the 5th round turn. Like that should not be the case at all. If you're telling me you're certain Pitts is always going to outscore Waller and Kittle, you're wrong. Like you're totally wrong.
You're totally right.
Yeah. So I hate the fact that they are so separated. Thus, I have no Pitts because like I think everyone's overdrafting them according to Waller and Kittle.
The worst thing that I do is take Dalton Schultz, who I think is the most Gary Barnage-ass tight end of all time.
Yeah.
He's so bad.
But one, we talked about how dead that range is. Now, he went a little bit ahead in this draft, but normally he's closer to like 65, 70. And that range starts to be super dead with like Josh Jacobs and DeAndre Hopkins and Michael Thomas. And then it sets up the Dalton Schultz, Treylon Burks, Dak, Robert Woods, like whatever you want out of that group. So like those are the teams I hate the most. And I should just stop taking him because I really think he's going to be so bad.
To that point about like having these muddled ranges, and I think we talked about this in the stream last week, like Kyler and Lamar went early here, but when you can get Kyler and even like Jalen in round 5 or 6 over, like, you know, one of these wide receivers that you don't feel great about anyway will be there for you in 6, and you just take that one, you go get your quarterback.
Yeah. Which is why I do think that Trey Lance, like he went 63 here. I think that's just going to be his ADP because of how dead and weird that rate. Like after Smith-Schuster goes, like the next 30 guys, you could convince me in any order pretty much.
I also think JoJo was trying to like make sure he had the stack. And Trey Lance probably would not have come back to him.
Well, he also took Ayuk really early.
Yeah. Oh, really early.
This team is just not very good that he drafted.
Sorry, JoJo.
Let's call a spade here.
Sorry, JoJo. But with that, Davis, what do you have coming out this week? What are you working on right now?
All the good stuff. Live TV, Sports Grid TV every week, 11 o'clock Eastern time, 10 o'clock Central. Takecast, Sports Grid Fantasy Football Podcast, all the good stuff. See me there.
And a wedding in 6 weeks. In Kansas City or where? St. Louis?
St. Louis, yeah.
Okay. Ian, what about you at PFF right now?
I got my future wedding pushed to 2024 instead of 2023.
Already?
I love that for you, Ian.
Not that I'm not excited to get married soon, but just all this shit going on next year. I was like,
planning it stinks, bro.
Exactly. So got some more time there. Feeling good about that. Finished up 30-second team preview done today. So I'm getting awfully drunk tonight. Really looking forward to that. You can catch the podcast if you're a listening person over at the PFF Fantasy Football Podcast. We've been doing those for eight straight weeks. So going to be a lot more guest focused content here moving forward. I'm sure I'll be reaching out to all you guys here soon, especially you, Davis, man. It was good podding with you for once.
Yes, Ian, cheers. Let's do it. Absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
Hayden, where can people find your storm theory for week 17?
Storm theory, bro.
Yeah, I got my polar vortex strategy coming up.
He's deep in the Farmer's Almanac.
Yeah. I actually have talking about like ping ponging weeks. I wrote a column on Underdog Network about week-to-week volatility at each position, and tight ends were the most volatile. So I'm on like team 3 bad tight ends and ping pong them. So you can read about that on Underdog Network.
Full4.com early bird discount special right now, 10% off if you sign up through August 1st. So get there. And until then, another guest will be back next week. We'll see you then.